4K was coming up and my vision was going down, and I was like, these games just kind of look similar. And then I was like, wait, they do look good. I just can't see those far away.
You got 4K for your eyes again. The Monday scaries.
We never plan out really what to do in the beginning of these episodes, and so we just sort of stare at each other until
one of us
somebody
says something.
breaks.
Yeah.
We're like playing a game of entertainment comedy chicken.
Who's going to try to do something funny today?
Something stupid to say first. David, I was listening to some other podcasts recently. I was listening to the boys over at My Brother and Me, some of the folks over at What Good Games, and Into the Aether as well. I noticed something that they all had was a big, loud, booming laugh for a lot of the people on those shows who like it like declares like, okay, now it is comedy time for video games.
We must all laugh now.
Yeah, it's laugh time. It's laughter time. It has struck laughter o'clock. And I was listening back to the episodes, and there was a lot of things that I found incredibly funny in our last episode that mostly you were saying. And I was listening to my laugh in there, and it was just kind of a meager. A rat's whimper.
That's quite humorous, the thing you said.
And your laugh, I can hear it very well. It comes through loud and clear, and usually I'm like, nice, it's time for laughing. But I was just hoping it's laughing time. I was hoping we could maybe workshop my laugh today.
Okay, sure.
So I'm just gonna throw a couple out there, and we'll see what sticks, and you can tell me which one I should probably go with.
Okay. Well, go hit me with your rough draft. Let's hear it.
Okay. All right.
It sounds like a cartoon car trying to start.
It didn't sound like a laugh to you?
Not really, no.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, hold on. Let me try again.
Okay. Start off kind of like Escanor, and then turn somewhere else.
Did it really like embody the fact that like we should be laughing about video games? Like, isn't Hideo Kojima funny?
It sounds like you're really forcing it.
Oh,
It sounds like you're really forcing it with that one.
all right. Okay, I can be cool and relaxed.
Okay,
With my laugh.
let's hear it. Show video.
It's show video.
Show video.
What about that one?
That was closer, but
Okay.
I think it was a little too soft. A little too soft.
I was trying to be relaxed.
Yeah, but you came off just as soft. You know, you can have a relaxed laugh like, yeah,
Oh, that one.
as opposed to just going like,
Yeah. I mean, okay. All right. Okay. We'll start from the top, and I'll get it this time.
okay, let's hear it.
Was that cool? Was that good?
Was it like the world's fastest laugh?
No, I was laughing normally. Did it sound okay?
I heard nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'm just not so good at this. I think you might have to carry the mantle for...
Of the laugher?
Yeah, so like maybe when you say something funny that you know I'm going to think is funny, you can just
laugh.
like preemptively...
Should I make a laugh for you?
that I can just paste in here? Yeah, can you do your best my laugh?
So mine's like...
Yeah, it's booming.
Yours is like...
Oh man, this doesn't feel so good. Watching it back, watching the replay, the visual is not good either. You're sort of crumpled up like some sort of Disney villain.
It's still spooky month, Chase.
It's November, damn it. That was last month. It's over.
Wait, so here's your laugh.
Okay. Oh, Dio.
I mean,
that's
not bad.
I should just start putting JoJo laughs in here every now and then.
That's a good one. Yeah, just put some JoJo laughs in for yourself. Just all the villains' laughs.
Yeah.
Dio laughs. Jotaro laughs.
As you've certainly guessed by now, it is Video Game Podtimism. It's the Optimist video game variety show where two best friends talk about their very good laughs and the wonderful world of gaming. My name is Chase, and my best laugh is...
And I'm David, and my best laugh is...
Oh, the pain. The pain exiting your body right now.
I did win best laugh in high school.
Did you?
I did.
Wow, we've got fucking royalty.
I got a superlative.
That's pretty impressive. And genuinely, so we went to the same high school. I kind of forgot about this. This is kind of an advantage, I feel like. Best chuckle?
I'm pretty mirthful.
You've got quite the humor larynx. No, you've got quite the joke core. You've got quite a joke core.
A joke core. So I'm like an android. I installed the joke core, and so now I got jokes.
Now you got jokes.
Can I be punished, David? Please.
Just wait, no, I didn't laugh right. Sorry. David, have you been playing video games? David, have you been playing video games recently?
I have been playing video games recently.
Tell me about those, please.
We had a good sesh on Divinity.
Okay, sure.
Made some headway, but the puzzles in that game, I think, are just bad. Like every time,
a little oblique.
Oblique. They're definitely greater than 90 degrees. Yes.
Is that what oblique means?
No, that's obtuse.
A lot of anatomy, not explicit or direct in addressing a point.
Hey, you got it.
Dio! God, Audacity is so mad at me whenever I do that.
That was a lot. So we did that. That was really fun. But yeah, the puzzles are just bad.
Sure.
They are not clear.
Sorry, Divinity.
They are a lot of just interacting with the worst parts of the game, which is a bummer. Because everything else about the game is really fun. Like the combat's good, the leveling is good, the character progression and all the items are cool. So it's a bummer when you just hit a dirt nasty puzzle that just sucks the wind out.
Nasty.
That's dirt nasty.
Ooh, that puzzle's so dirt nasty.
Dirt nasty. Can we be the dirt nasty boys now?
Only when we're really slopping around in the mud.
So when we have too many whiskey sodas on the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. The outro is almost always dirt nasty.
Here's your dirt nasty wisdom of the week. Anyways, yes. I didn't want to get too crass at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, thank you. Our viewers, thank you. Our listeners,
you're welcome, everybody. I'll save it for the end.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that. I got the last skin in Overwatch.
Sure.
It was the ragdoll skin for Echo, the newest hero. And the big thing I probably played over the weekend was Cuphead.
Okay.
I'm a Cup man now.
Have you beaten it?
No.
Okay.
But I beat the dragon. And man, that was a fucking annoying fight. God, that was a bad one. That's up there with most frustrating game bosses I've fought.
Really? Wow. That's the halls of champions truly there.
It's just started really getting to me because the first two stages of it I was able to get through real easy, but the last one just really makes you take your foot off the gas, because if you don't, then you're just going to hurt yourself. Did you beat Cuphead?
No, I played it for probably like the better part of like a week and then just like fell off for whatever reason.
Where'd you get to? Did you get to the second world?
Probably not. I beat like the moon boss. That was the last one that I remember. Which I don't think is particularly far into it.
Did you fight the dragon?
No, I don't think so. I'm watching a video of him right now. Grim Matchstick is the boy. Doesn't look easy.
No, he was hard. Yeah, I had to just use every ounce of my faculty. Drink a whole mocha pot of coffee.
Hell yeah. Really get it moving.
Started losing sensation in my extremities.
You were going Super Saiyan is what you're telling me.
So all of my blood was being sent towards my hands. That was it.
That's where you need your blood for video gaming. Good.
My hands and my head. Everywhere else can just go on sleep.
Feet? No, thank you. I don't need to walk right now. Organs? I don't need to eat. Nothing need to be going on.
Everything else was just like I was sleeping, pretty much. Just enough to stay alive. That's about it.
I've learned how to put my body to sleep. Only my fists are awake. That's my best Vegeta. That doesn't feel very good.
Is that Vegeta?
And I feel like I can do it.
Where is it?
It sounded like Vegeta doing Shakespeare for a second.
Yeah, there's like an accent to it. I don't know what that is.
Pretentious?
Yeah. What's something he says?
I've attained a level beyond a Super Saiyan. I'm the prince of all Saiyans.
Yeah. I'm the prince. No, it's too low. Fuck.
That's too low.
Yeah.
More gravelly, more high pitched.
I'm the prince of all Saiyans.
Got it. That's it. I got him.
Was that Stinky Jake?
No, Stinky Jake is very southern.
That's true.
I don't much like showering.
He's dead now. That's for sure.
He dead. Maybe.
He did.
Okay, cool. Are those the games you're playing?
Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
What have you been playing?
I've been playing some things. Mainly 2 games.
Indie games.
No. Normal games. Not indie games.
The normie games?
Normie games. No, not really. They're just like normal video games. I've been playing 2 of them. First is Pikmin 3 on the Switch.
I played the demo for that. Is it worth a full buy?
So far, yeah. It's pretty fun. I will say it seems like a game that I would probably like quite a bit, insofar as like some of it does feel like work, where it's like, okay, we've collected all the things and we're like min-maxing our Pikmin and like doing good, and like our efficiency is really high.
When I've known you for a long time. Mm-hmm. When did your obsession for work begin? Because it really slipped under my radar at some point.
I think it was all sort of developing, because I feel like this is a thing that's been there for a while. I just feel like games didn't really start tapping into this weird part of my head until kind of later in the game.
Sure.
Like, I remember in the original Dark Cloud, there was a section where you had to like build a city from the people that you were like rescuing in the dungeon, I think. Mm-hmm. And like, depending on how you positioned things in the city, it would like unlock cooler items for you. So if you like planned and built your city efficiently enough, it would give you a cool sword about that. It's like, great job doing this work. And so back then, I know that it was definitely a thing. I'm trying to think of like Super Nintendo games that did this, but most of those are just like side scrollers, right? Like,
yeah,
there's not a lot of variety in games that old, but I feel like in PS2 they started doing this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, even,
they definitely did.
Pikmin's a pretty old game at this point too. It came out in GameCube.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah. It's a classic Nintendo franchise.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, I mean, there are definitely cool parts of it. The visual style is really interesting and cool. Everything being like pretty miniature is pretty fun. Like you'll find stuff on the like planet, like a remote control that's like gigantic compared to you. Uh-huh. And so like the aesthetic of it is pretty cute and fun.
Wait, so is Olimar tiny?
Olimar is not in this one, but I think the implication is either that Olimar and these people who are like him are very tiny, or that they have derived at planets that used to be inhabited by people who are huge. I'm not really sure which.
Why an Olimar in it?
Maybe spoilers for Pikmin 3? But
is he dead?
He might be dead. That's sort of the implication.
Shit.
You're like finding logs from Olimar in it, and it like appears that he may have died here.
Oh my god. Nintendo. What the heck?
They may just find him, but I kind of like it that it's a little bit like dark like that.
Like kid movie dark.
Yeah.
Off-screen death.
Exactly. But so far it's been pretty fun. I don't know if it has like staying power, but I'm enjoying turning it on and like playing. Mm-hmm. It's got a little bit of a survival aspect to it too, of like, you have to collect like fruit every day so that you can like go back up into your ship while you're orbiting the planet and like survive. Mm-hmm. Like every day you have to drink a certain amount of juice to survive. And so there's a little juice. You make like juice out of the fruits.
The juice.
Juice. Yes. You do have to drink the juice.
Good.
So that's kind of fun. Like it adds another layer to it of like, rather than just like I have to go collect this one item, it's like you also should be trying to get the extra stuff that's kind of floating around. The Pikmin types are varied since the last time I've played it. I don't know if I played Pikmin 2, but I definitely played Pikmin 1. Mm-hmm. And there have been some new additions since then, so that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
What else? I think that's kind of it. I'm not deeply far into it yet, so I'm interested to see if it like kind of changes up how it's going so far, but it's got me a little bit interested thus far.
Sweet.
I am also playing Watchdogs Legion.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I have been trying to think about whether or not I like this game since I've started playing it, and I have not come down one side or the other.
I have one question.
Yes. Is it ludonarratively dissonant? Was that what you're going to say?
Yes. How dissonant is your ludonarrative right now?
For those who haven't listened to our diatribe on this, Clint Hawking is the director of Watchdogs Legion, who penned the famous essay about ludonarrative dissonance, meaning the game's story being out of whack with its mechanics. It's not that dissonant.
But it's got some in there.
It's got a little bit. Okay. The story, I have so many mixed emotions on it. And like, I think the game is genuinely very fun and very pretty. And like, I enjoy mechanically moment to moment, like playing the video game. Mm-hmm. The story is sort of weird. It's like set in, I think, like kind of alternate near future London. There's like some inciting incident that essentially allows the like what do they call it? Like a power vacuum in London for this private contract military to come in and like take over.
Whoa. And
because like London's like, hey, we're getting attacked by these terrorist group that you're affiliated with in the game. Mm-hmm. But it seems like it was framed on them. Like,
wait, you're a terrorist?
That's what the London police or Albion would lead you to believe. Yes,
Albion.
Yeah,
it's a weird name.
It's also the isn't that the like place in Fable?
It is the place in Fable. I was like, where have I heard that before?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just the world in Fable.
Huh. Albion.
Yeah, so like the military contractors come in after this like incident gets pinned on you. It's still unclear like who like did this attack in the first place at this point in the game that I'm playing. But it wasn't you because you were like trying to stop it as the quote unquote terrorist organization DedSec is who you're playing as.
DedSec.
Yep. So I think the game takes place, I'm not sure how far after that incident, but probably like 6 months to a year afterwards. And like the city's essentially on like lockdown. Mm-hmm. Private military is just like all over the place. And so you're attempting to essentially like not free the city, but, push the private contractors out and like take it back a little bit out of the sort of fascistic rule that it's under.
Fascistic?
Yeah, like fascist.
Like fascist?
Yeah.
Okay. I never heard that term. That's cool.
I'm a smart man, David.
Fascistic. That's cool. That's fun to say.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of buttery on the tongue.
Fascistic. Donald, you're so fascistic.
It's true.
Said Putin lovingly into his ear.
And then they kissed.
That's
our fanfic for the week.
The fascistic passion between the
two. The story is weird. It like, I don't know. There's the, so let me speak to this point first. There's not like a main character in this game. You instead play as like many characters, and you can recruit a ton of people to your cause and then play as any of those people.
Because you can like take over anybody. You can like be a grandma, can't you?
Yeah, you have to like recruit them first. So you like roll up to them and you're like, hey, you should join DedSec. And usually there's like some mission that they'll send you on to like recruit them. Mm-hmm. So they're like, hey, my friend died recently at the hands of the police. Like, can you go find their like death receipt or whatever from the hospital? So you got to go break in there. And then they're like, hey, they didn't actually die. They got captured. And it's like, okay, well, maybe I can go find them. And then you like break them out of somewhere and the person's like, oh, that's sweet, thanks. And that sort of stuff. And each person has like different abilities and like perks and shit like that. So I do think that part of it is fun. And I think there is like some message surrounding like collective bargaining and what you can do through the power of like lots of people. Mm-hmm. I think that message is in there.
So it's like pro-union?
I don't want to call it explicitly pro-union because you are just like punching the private military contractors. So it's like not necessarily about like collective bargaining and shit like that. But I think that there's a theme in there about what you can do as a group.
The power of us.
Yeah, definitely.
Power of we.
The way that they represent that through not having like one person who's like the hero is pretty interesting and cool. I haven't seen that before. Like that makes the message hit a little bit harder. I also read this article, I think it was on Kotaku, that had said like, hey, you should play Watchdogs Legions on hard and in permadeath mode. It'll like make the game a lot more enjoyable. And so I did do that, and it is a lot more enjoyable. Like the game isn't particularly hard, and so like the hard difficulty I think you just makes a little bit squishier. Like your character dies faster. And the permadeath thing is really interesting because like you'll have your group of people, and if one of them dies, it is kind of significant, right? You're like, fuck, like...
Okay, so it makes it like Fire Emblem?
A little bit, yeah, right? Like that part of it is pretty cool. And to the point about like it being the power of us or whatever, like it does feel pretty, it can feel devastating when it's like you lost like a very important member of your party and you're like, fuck, like this is gonna suck. I have to go, like, there's nobody here who can do what they did. Like, we need to keep recruiting people, but it's hard to do. So I think that part of it is interesting. I think the downside of that is that none of these individual characters are particularly well written. Like, they're all sort of like just NPCs essentially, right? So like all their dialogue is kind of canned and cheesy, and like one of the people, I was in the middle of a mission at the hospital, this like same mission I was talking about, and I got these medical records and I was running away. Like, I was actively like, okay, I got my shit, I'm getting out of here. And then there was like a drone that came after me and I was like, oh, I'll just try and shoot it and get out of it. I shot it. It did very little damage to this thing, and then it just laid into me and killed me. And like, that was it. Like, the person was just dead now. Damn. And then it immediately switches over to another character that I had, and the mission continues, right? Which is like maybe interesting, but immediately the person talking is like, all right, AI, what do we got? Like, no impact of the other person having just been killed in the field. They're just like, sure, let's keep going. And so like any of these individual deaths doesn't feel particularly impactful narratively. Mechanically, it does feel pretty impactful because like you lost a member of your party, and that sucks.
Clint. Come on, man.
He's I mean, that is, to me, that is kind of interesting. It's usually the reverse, right? Like, you lose somebody and story-wise, it's supposed to have an impact, but it doesn't really, right? Like, you're still playing as fucking Marcus Phoenix and you're shooting down the horde. It's not that big of a deal.
Or Dave Bautista in the new one, apparently.
True.
Did you see that?
I did.
Cool.
It's interesting. It's a cool decision that I haven't seen before. But yeah, it sort of makes it hard to attach to anybody. Like, I'm not like rooting for a ton of people. I'm just sort of rooting for like, yeah, I guess Albion sucks. All that said, yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about it all in all. It's not like an amazing game. I'm definitely enjoying it. And like, there's some like emergent gameplay stuff that was in like Far Cry 2 and stuff that's pretty neat. Like, there are a multitude of ways to approach any given situation, and that's pretty fun. I found like the sneaking parts sometimes feeling like as good as Metal Gear Solid when you're like running around and like tracking people and like hacking into shit. And then, I've got a little cloaking device that I can use for a couple seconds. I'll like take this dude out. The other guy will see me, but then I'll cloak and then I'll hide from them. They won't know what's going on. Then I can probably get to them before, they trip an alarm or something like that.
So is it a sneaky game?
If you're playing careful, it is a sneaky game. I think on hard, it's a little bit harder to like just run and gun. And they actively encourage you to be non-lethal in this game. So like, your guns aren't shooting to kill most of the time.
Gotcha.
So that's all pretty interesting and pretty novel. Yeah, I think those are all my feelings on it right now. It's an interesting game. I'm still going to keep playing it. I'm just not really sure where I come down on it yet.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
All this, though, will bring me to my Podtimistic thing of the week, David.
Let's hear it.
It's tangentially related to video games.
Tangentially? Oh, you're full of...
I got
good words
out my fucking ears today.
$2 million worth of words right now.
You dare to approach me?
I, this week, am Podtimistic for glasses, David.
Cool. That's tight.
I turned 30, and I felt like I was pulling the fucking Master Sword out of the sheath and just aged 7 years very quickly. I woke up and Hyrule was all fucked. I'm like, wait, what? What happened here?
Yeah.
And I just could not, my vision was starting to go pretty quickly, and I couldn't see things very far away.
Oh, no.
It's not like horrible. Like, I can still like drive and shit, but like... the place where I've been playing PlayStation in our house, the TV is just far enough away that I'm like, it's a little bit shitty, where I'm like, I'm having just a little bit of a hard time tracking what's going on in this game. Got glasses? Not a problem, baby. Lots of detail. I can see plenty of shit.
You just gotta get a bigger TV, man.
I mean,
that's 65 inch.
65, bro. I don't think that's gonna fit in the room that I'm putting this in.
If you ain't got a 65 inch, just go away.
I have 55 in the living room, and I think a 45 in the room that I'm playing games in. And like I said, it was becoming a little bit difficult, but now I can see all the detail again, David. These video games are beautiful. I forgot.
I love a beautiful video game.
Yeah. I think it was like 4K was coming up and my vision was going down. And I was like, these games just kind of look similar. And then I was like, wait, They do look good. I just can't see those far away.
You got 4K for your eyes again.
Pretty much. So yeah, it's been a real thrill. I can see shit far away. Trees are pretty again. It's very cool.
Damn, nice.
Oh yeah.
That'd be good in the PNW.
Oh yeah. Definitely right now too. It's all fall. Except the fucking sun has decided to go down at like 3 o'clock now, which is very cool.
3?
No, the sun is currently setting at like 4:30.
Okay.
And it will get down to 4 o'clock, which is like hellish.
4 o'clock. My God.
David, do you have something fueling your sense of optimism?
I do.
Tell me.
And its name is RN Jesus.
RN Jesus. I'm well acquainted with this friend of ours.
Specifically when he shines his smiling gaze upon you and grants you 3 legendary skins in three loot boxes. 3 legendary skins in a row.
Wow.
All Halloween skins.
RN Jesus came down and shook your hand and gave you a little kiss on the cheek just there. That was not a shining light. He was like, what's good, my dude?
He didn't like bust into the room and give me like 3 legendaries in 1 loot box. He's just like walked up, stared me in the eyes, and gave me a good firm handshake, and then left.
A knowing wink.
A knowing wink.
Dipped. Yeah.
Maybe a little slap on the butt. Just like a friendly one. Just like, hey,
consensual. It was consensual.
I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
You've talked to RN Jesus before and established that that's a thing he can do, and it's cool by you. Mm-hmm. And in that moment.
It was pretty sweet.
It was pretty fucking sweet.
It was pretty sweet. Like the first one happened, I'm like, oh, sweet, legendary. And the next one, I'm like, oh, shit, 2 in a row?
A legendary, yeah.
And then the third, I'm like, no fucking way. It was great. It was awesome.
Oh, man. That's really nice. Overwatch is really good for that. I feel like anytime I got a legendary in Hearthstone, that was always a fucking event.
That's because in Hearthstone, they have that extra added,
oh, legendary.
Yeah, the dwarf really hyping you up in there.
Oh, golden common.
Just takes all the wind out of your sails. Like,
I know.
Fucking sucks.
Yeah, they really play it up whenever you get a legendary in that game. It feels really fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Overwatch, the music kind of crescendos a bit more.
A little bit, yeah.
But it's not the same as, you know. Who would do it in Overwatch? Reinhardt? Tracer?
Oh, yeah, it depends, I guess.
What if you could choose? What if you could choose any character to like...
Your legendary delivery system?
Uh-huh. Who would you choose? I think I'd choose Lucio.
He would get you really amped up.
Oh, it's looking like a legendary. And then play some club music.
Yeah. What a pull! Turn it up! This is a really hard question. I'm thinking about this more than I thought I did. My first hit was Winston. But I feel like he might not get as hyped as I want him to get.
Yeah, he's going to be just like chill about it.
Yeah.
Not as good as peanut butter.
That's my best one.
You're in canon reference there. That's nice. Tracer might be fun, but she might fly by too quickly with it.
Yeah.
Great pull! And then just like, that's it.
Soldier could be okay.
Yeah. I think maybe Peeper. Peeper might be fun. Yeah.
Peeper.
Sweet skin.
I'm just going to go with my heart, man. I think it's Winston. I think Winston's going to be there for me when I need him.
I think Winston would be tight. He'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Great box. Hi there.
Box.
Lovely legendary.
Lovely legendary.
Riveting rare.
Okay, he definitely would alliterate. This is true. He would alliterate everything.
Excellent. Move. Epic. Crappy common. Huh.
That's every box.
That's all of them. Oh, and then he could probably comment on his own skins whenever they get them.
Ooh. Overwatch, come on. Give these voice actors a little bit more moolah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or hire Chase Albee to do some third-party voice acting for all your established characters.
Kirkland brand Winston.
Wanston is his name now.
Wanston.
Wanston, Peeper, Marky.
Peeper. Marky?
Marky.
Who's Marky?
It's Mercy.
Played by Mark Wahlberg.
Marky the healer.
Lucario.
It's just Lucario, like actually the Pokemon. Gonjo. Hanjo.
Gonjo
And Hanjo, I think, are pretty easy.
Gonjo and Hanjo.
Yeah.
The brothers.
The brothers Smith. Just like entirely the wrong last name.
We're anglicizing them now. Perfect.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. God damn it. Trying to be unproblematic here. Okay. Let's move on to our main thing before we put ourselves in hot water.
All right. Sounds good.
It feels like we may need a stanger for this segment. We've been doing this segment every now and then, and we've yet to come up with a good one.
A new stanger, you said?
New stanger.
We're like good millennials doing another countdown list.
You won't believe number 5.
That's got to be it, right?
Maybe that's the stanger, right?
I think that's the stanger.
Oh, no. Oh, what have I done?
Yeah. So we're going to do another countdown list. With the approaching consoles, we thought it might be a good idea to reflect on some of the past launches. And David had the great idea of talking about launch titles and which ones are the most memorable, better or worse, for better or for worse, which I thought was a great one. So I've come up with 5. Did you come up with 5?
I came up with 5.
Okay, great. I don't have an order for these because I didn't break them down by good or bad.
I guess just maybe switch back and forth.
Okay, cool. Then we're gonna count down 5 of our most memorable launch titles. What's your first one, David?
It's a nasty boy one.
Oh, okay. Meaning a bad game.
Yeah, it's just
I've
a
got a
bad
couple of these.
experience. Just a bad experience.
Okay, sure.
Battlefield 4 on the PS4.
Okay, all right. Tell me about this.
It didn't work. The game didn't work.
I mean, that's a pretty good sign of a bad game if it's just not doing the game part.
I tried to play it multiple times. It's an online-only game, and the online didn't work. I was never able to log on. I had a PlayStation Plus account, had it all. It just didn't work.
Didn't do the battlefielding.
It was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever seen. I was like, this is silly.
This was a launch title? I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure.
I think I tried to play this as well on PC, and I wasn't super enthused.
I mean, I'd heard good things about it on PC.
Yeah.
But then it came out on PS4. I'm like, finally, my time.
Finally fast.com.
Finally fast.com. And then it was not finally fast. It was finally broken.
It was not a good game, yeah.
It was bad. And that's about all I have to say. I don't know what else is. It just didn't work. Like 7 times out of 10 trying to log on, it wouldn't work.
That's rough.
It just didn't happen. Yeah.
I feel like games not working on launch is kind of a bummer. Like you're really working for this one spot and then just kind of shits the bed. It's rare, but that definitely does happen.
Yeah, I understand it happens. I get it. But
it
just sucks that it happened with a game I wanted to play.
Yeah, sure.
Wasn't meant to be.
I do think it's a little bit more common nowadays when you can patch games and like you can ship them in a not great state and then just like do the day one patch thing where you figure it out. But there was sort of a weird time, I feel like, specifically around the launch of the PlayStation 4. It was like games haven't totally migrated over to having a great user experience for this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like
launches and online launches, because they were still kind of used to the previous generation where it was definitely still a physical thing. But man, it's gotten better since then, but for a little while it was a little rough there
and they were also going too far to the dark side in that they were requiring like always online, and if you didn't have internet connection, can't play the game at all.
That does suck. I run into that every now and then, but I don't even notice it. Like games that are technically always online, but like I think Watchdogs is kind of like that, but when you can't connect, they're just like, hey, we can't connect, and then you can play the game. Like
you can still play it.
Yeah,
it's not an integral part to the experience.
Yeah.
So that's one of the more negative memorable moments.
Sure, a memorable moment nonetheless.
Yeah.
Okay, my first one. I'm playing the hits, David. I have unboxed my fresh Nintendo 64, and there's not so many launch titles for this console as I learned when I looked this up. It was literally 2 games. It was Pilot Wings and Mario 64. The one I am bringing is Mario 64, David.
That's it?
Yeah.
It was Pilot Wings and Mario
64 for a little while. They did come out with games like shortly thereafter, but on launch, those were the 2 games you could get.
Wow.
In the US, I should say. In Japan, they had a little bit more. But yeah, no, I'm playing the hits right now, David. Mario 64 is a fucking crazy launch title. I cannot believe that they shipped this game the day this console came out.
Pretty damn impressive.
What a wild game to just be able to say, here is our first shot across your bow.
Yeah.
God damn. I mean, what can be said about Mario 64 that hasn't already been said? But like, Jesus, it definitely stands out to my mind of like, when picking up a N64, it felt like it was necessary. Like it was almost a rite of passage that you play at least once Mario 64, right? It was everybody's like, your your transfer station. You'd get off the train of 2D and get on the train of 3D with Mario 64.
Totally.
Pretty wild, yeah.
It was a great game, though.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I won't belabor this point. I just wanted to bring up Mario 64 because, yeah, that's nuts.
Hey, I have no issue with that.
Cool.
Please bring up Mario 64 whenever and whenever.
When we're out on our one-on-one dates, I'll bring it up with you, David.
One-on-one dates?
Mm-hmm. Where we just go and, hang out in low-lit rooms and look at each other.
And we just say, oh, you're so fascistic.
You're so fascistic and tangential.
You're so fascistic. Tangential, baby. You're the most tangential fascistic person I
know. What's your second one, David?
My second one is the one, the only Wii Sports.
Oh, I thought about it. Put it on. So good.
When the flute comes in, man.
It's time. It's time to hit some fucking balls around. Play a little bowling.
You're ready.
Wii Sports is quite a phenomenal launch title as well. I feel like Nintendo, whenever they're releasing something very new, sometimes they can really hit the mark with like, this is what this console can be. And I have another one on my list later where the Wii did not hit the mark at all. But Wii Sports was so snappy and fun.
Oh yeah.
And like every game in there felt necessary and cool. As much as cheesy as like boxing was in that one, it still felt fun and like interesting.
Yeah.
I still think bowling is probably the best one in there.
Bowling is so good. Tennis is so good. Golf is so good.
Oh, golf. I forgot about golf.
I literally got tennis elbow looking back on it from playing Wii Tennis. Too much.
You're going hard, dude.
I was just this little chubby kid, and like, this is the most physical exercise I've ever had in my life, playing Wii Sports.
I'm exhausted, but god damn it, this is fun.
My elbow hurt really bad. It was awful.
Wow.
But man, was that a special experience, firing that game up.
It also had the benefit that it was really fun to play with other people. Like, you could really get some good party things going. I feel like for a little while there, you could go to like anybody's house who had a Wii, and they would almost inevitably fire up Wii Sports and get everybody moving on that thing.
Everybody in the house would get hyped. Mom would get hyped. Dad would get hyped. Your dog would get hyped. Everybody could play it. Everybody loved Wii Sports. It was like the most egalitarian game ever created.
Fight me in tennis, David. I'm your dog. I want to play bowling, David.
She would have. She would have fought me in tennis for sure. I'm also going to tack on another one.
Okay.
Onto this.
Sure.
Which is making a Mii.
Oh, yeah. Really fun. Almost a game unto itself.
For real. And once again, that music.
Oh, God, yeah, dude. The Mii making music is quintessential gaming music.
My goodness.
We sing this on almost every episode at this point.
Bum, bum, bum.
It was something else. Man, that really takes me back to a different time.
I feel like customizable avatars are like a given at this point. But like Wii, and then I think 360 as well. Maybe not until later, but we had like a physical representation of your person, and that was incredibly novel. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure why, but like, I guess just folks hadn't like thought to do that super in depth. I know there was like online avatars and shit like that, but not nearly as in depth of like a character creation screen, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, right. It was big time.
Yeah,
it was a big deal when that came out, and people thought it was going to be gimmicky, and it was, but it was still awesome. It was still great. Put yourself in the game.
It never demanded more of you than it would be able to give. It was gimmicky, yes, but like, it was just fun and interesting, and like, you never spent more than like 15 minutes in there, right? And you could go and create as many as you want to and like represent yourself pretty normally, and like,
you could get pretty creative with things.
Oh yeah,
like definitely. Some of the Mii's that people made
are like spot on.
Crazy.
I remember the Zach Braff one being pretty good for whatever reason.
I remember you showed me that one.
Yeah.
You're just dude, you have Zach Braff? And I'm like, no, why would I have Zach Braff as a Mii?
For whatever reason, a very Mii representable person.
Yeah, he's just kind of like basic white dude.
Yeah, he's got some features.
He is kind of cartoonish in a way.
A little bit, yeah. He's got sort of exaggerated eyes.
Yeah, like those droopy, like, sad dog eyes, you know?
Yeah, damn. Wii Sports and the Wii creation is definitely a good combo there.
Yeah, it was a big one.
It's a treat.
What's your next one?
My next one, it is Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast.
Whoa.
What a fucking weird video game this was, dude. Dreamcast, I felt like it came out at sort of a weird time. I think it was like just a little bit earlier than PlayStation 2. Let me see. Yeah. Hold on. I want to make sure this is correct. Yeah, in North America, September 9th, 1999. I think the PS2 came out in 2001. 2000. So about a year later. So yeah, the Dreamcast beat like the next gen of consoles by just a little bit. And I think for it was like kind of the first shot across the bow of like, look at what games can be. And I remember Sonic looking so good. Like the visuals of it are just like incredible. Because again, you're coming from like N64 level graphics. Yeah. I think it was also pretty performant. Like there weren't a lot of slowdowns. Like you were moving pretty quick. The game itself, sort of bad. A little bad.
Sort of bad.
Sort of bad. It's incredibly buggy. So many bugs in this game. Like just constantly able to like just destroy the camera. It was not looking at you in any sort of like sense of the word. But I feel like I sunk so many hours into Sonic Adventure because it was just so cool. I think also when we're talking about games as vibes, Sonic Adventure had a fucking vibe, man.
Okay.
Those like cool shoes that he would wear to grind on rails and shit. So cool. Hold on. Like, I need to transport you back to 1999 real quick. Sonic Adventure shoes. See if we can find these. There those fuckers are. Look at these things.
Oh my god.
Sick ass shoes.
Those
very cool.
Those shoes. My goodness.
Oh, hell to the yeah, dude.
Was this your shit back in the day?
I guess. Oh yeah, dude, look at this. Fucking on those rails with them weird shoes. It's not a very good video game. Okay, so Sonic Adventure, not a particularly good game, but one of those games that was like advanced enough that it was interesting to play just on like a technological basis. So that was cool. Also taking care of your little chows, whatever those things were, the little like blue things. Okay. Oh man, that was nice.
That was nice.
Also playing as Biggs the cat, very fun.
Very nice.
Fun. So yeah, that's my second one. Okay, do you have your third one, David?
I do.
Talk to me about it.
Ridge Racer.
I knew this was going to come up. Ridge Racer is a launch title for so many of PlayStation's consoles.
It's a meme. It's a meme that keeps on giving. But
it like, and I was looking at this website that was like all the launch titles for every console, and inevitably Ridge Racer was on like the PSP, the PlayStation 1. I think it was on the PlayStation 2, the Vita, like constantly. Which one are you thinking of?
PSP.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the most memorable Ridge Racer.
That's the one I was really here for.
Yeah.
It's probably the best game on my PSP, which is sad. Sad.
Poor
It's a sad statement. But PSP was the son that could have been king, but became a mere pauper. You and I had such high hopes for the PSP.
Yeah, I remember us specifically had like, I don't know why. I think we were just like such PlayStation heads at the time that we were like, dude, this is about to change the fucking world.
Dude, we were hyped so bad.
Yeah.
It was wild. And then it was like, I saved up for years, my allowance for years.
Yep.
I'm like, cool. I play Luminous and Ridge Racer on this, and everything else is not fun to play because it controls like garbage.
Yeah, it's true. People the developers did not know how to work without a second dual shock stick.
Nope. And I think I probably watched more movies on it than I did play video games at the end of the day. Oh
wow, yeah, and the little UMDs or whatever they had.
Watched Anchorman many times.
I think I had this as well.
Anchorman, Spider-Man 2. Watched a lot of Spider-Man 2 on that thing. Nice for road trips, to be honest, but
yeah, that
not
is
what
true.
I bought it for.
Ridge Racer was good. I feel like there's a couple of like okay launch titles. There was it Metal Gear Acid? Was that the one that came out?
That was on there, and so was NBA Street, which was cool.
Yes. Yeah, there was a handful of games that weren't too bad at launch title, but yeah, I think Ridge Racer stands out for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think just the launch of the PSP is filled with like this memory of like disappointment in a way. Because it's like all the games, yeah, they were good, but you can tell that they were just shadows of a console game.
Yeah, it was sort of the Sunny Select, the Kirkland brand version of whatever game you were trying to play.
Yeah, Whereas, like a Nintendo DS or Game Boy game, it was totally its own thing because of the restrictions of the system. So developers could work within that to make the best thing possible, as opposed to taking something that's a console experience and putting it portable, which just didn't work out back then.
That's an interesting point. I feel like when games try and get to that midpoint between what consoles are currently doing and what handhelds were currently doing, it didn't work that well.
They lost their soul.
Kind of, yeah. Like I'm not exactly sure what happened in translation there, but usually they weren't that good. But the DS was kind of its own thing by that point. The Game Boy is definitely its own thing. Like you cannot develop a game for one and have it be pretty much at all similar to what's on a console.
Yeah.
The fucking Nokia N-Gage was bad.
Oh, the N-Gage, man.
I almost put the Tomb Raider game that was on the N-Gage on here just because it was so fucking wild.
Killer app, baby. That was the killer app.
The frame rate on that fucking game was just disastrous. You were getting like maybe 12 a second.
Didn't you have an N-Gage?
No, you're probably thinking when I had a Sidekick, the phone.
Similar in
was
size.
Fucking cool.
You love your Sidekick. You were into your
thing.
Sidekick.
It felt so much like the fucking future to be like, hey, I'm taking a call. Just kidding. I'm taking a text. My phone just turned into an entirely different thing. Now I have a keyboard on my thumbs. Very cool. Very cool. But this is not a segment about the cool cell phones that I had.
Chase was the cool kid. Just so everyone knows.
That is debatable. That is a very debatable point.
Chase was the kind of cool kid. Just so everybody knows.
I had a cool phone, I think. But pretty much anything up till the Switch, I feel like, wasn't super good if it was trying to imitate a console, but not necessarily delivering on how good it could be.
Yeah, like you couldn't go from a console to a portable, but you could go from a portable to a console. You could upgrade, but you can't downgrade. Right. Yeah, and like a half measure downgrade, right? Like it's not like it's an entirely different game because you can't put it on there, but it's like it just looks a little shittier. It's more of a pain to play. Yeah, it doesn't control quite as well because that second control stick really matters, guys. Yeah.
Whereas like with the Switch, it's like I don't necessarily need my games to be looking like a PlayStation 4 game. They can look like a good PS3 game, and that's fine with me. Like, it looks really good still, and still plays just as normally as it does on the TV. So I feel like Nintendo really timed that one pretty well.
They knew what they were doing.
Cool. Speaking of which, I'm going to talk about a launch title for the Game Boy Advance.
Ooh, let's hear it.
I would be remiss not to mention it. True podheads will know.
Only true podheads will know.
It's Mega Man Battle Network, dude. I couldn't not mention it.
Battle Network?
It's Bargle Network, man. I can't not mention it. It was so fucking good. I just love this game.
I didn't know it was a launch title. It's pretty good.
I didn't either, to be honest. I don't feel... Maybe that's not true. I was going to say I don't feel like I got a Game Boy Advance right out of the gate, but that I feel like it would have been the right time for me to be able to get that. I don't remember it being particularly expensive. $100 for this little guy.
Damn, that's nothing.
It's nothing. Like that feels like a pretty good price for this little dude for games that are like genuinely very, very good. Gotta get that Ruby Sapphire, baby. I don't know that I have a ton to say about Bargle Network, but I love this game. I love Battle Network.
It's a good fucking game.
What's your number 4, David? I feel like we're getting into the interesting ones now. I got some weirdies for the next couple.
Some weirdies.
Yeah.
Number 4 is from the DS.
Okay.
Super Mario 64 DS.
Ooh, true. We both got 64 on here.
It was a weird one.
Yeah.
It was like Bizarro Super Mario 64. Because once again, it just was trying to take a controlled stick game and put it on an analog.
Oh, yeah.
And you use the stylus to control the camera on the bottom screen.
Oh, my God. Did you? I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's horrible.
Or you could just use the buttons or the L and R to move the camera around sporadically. Yeah. But once you got the whole hang of it, it actually worked pretty well. It took like a good hour to get used to it, though.
I do remember, like, I have fond memories of that. I think it was also, like, impressive from the perspective of, like, both you and I had played Mario 64 when it had come out, and then to be able to play it in a handheld was, like, a pretty impressive moment of, like, holy shit, like, they've put what was once very cool tech into a very small package over the course of like, I guess that probably took like 8 years. I think the DS came out in like 2004, 2005 or something. Mario 64 was like 1996 or 1998, somewhere in there. Yeah, that's true. I kind of liked that game. I kind of liked Mario 64 for the DS.
It was good, and it had all those. I remember playing with Mario's face a lot
with the stylus. It definitely lent itself.
Control it, and all those different little mini games you could do were actually pretty good.
Holy shit, the mini games, David! I had forgotten about this part of that game.
They had so many pretty good mini games, right? So that was a great way to spend time in the car if you had it, which was a nice addition to the game, as well as just having the whole game, a somewhat bastardized version of it, but still in there. It was impressive at the time. Be like, wow, they put Mario 64 on a handheld, and that was maybe 10 years after Mario 64 came out when the DS came out.
Yeah, I think about 8 years ish.
That's an impressive turnaround.
Yeah, it definitely is.
From a home console to a portable. 8 years.
Yeah, especially for the time. I feel like tech was moving a little bit, like it was iterating very quickly, but to have it go from like a console to a handheld that quickly felt pretty impressive.
Yeah, and that was good.
Yeah, wild stuff. I like that game. I think I had that one, and then I played like the demo of like Metroid Prime or whatever it was on DS.
Also a weird control scheme.
Yeah, I remember the control scheme being a little frustrating on that one.
Didn't get to the point like in Mario 64 where it started feeling good after a while. Just always kind of felt a little bad.
Oh man, you know what? I don't think it was a launch title initially, but WarioWare Touched came out shortly thereafter, which was a very good WarioWare.
I need a WarioWare for the Switch. Where
the
is
Switch?
That?
It would fit in so good.
Like I don't want one of these silly Mario Party games that they have on the Switch. They are like real Mario Party. I sound like an old head, but they ain't. Give me a good WarioWare.
Okay, my number 4, David.
Let's hear it.
It is the launch title for the original Xbox. Fusion Frenzy, my friend.
Fusion? Not Halo?
No, Halo's too easy. Halo was just such a fucking good game. Fusion Frenzy, I have very weird memories of.
Fusion Frenzy was pretty fucking cool from what I remember.
It was the party game styled after kind of Mario Party, but it was like edgy and hip.
Ooh, so edgy.
There were characters with like spiky hair in it, and me being, I think, like an 11 or 12-year-old was like, I think Fusion Frenzy gets me in a way that Mario just couldn't.
They just get me now.
They just get it.
Nintendo doesn't get me anymore.
Xbox gets core gamers like myself.
Only Bill Gates understands me.
Robert Gates really gets me, dude.
Robert Gates, more like Robert Games.
More like Gamer Roberts. More like
Gamer Bob.
Game Bob.
Game Bob. We got from Bill Gates to Game Bob. Here we go.
Game Bob is definitely who Bill Gates' gamer tag is. Fusion Frenzy was a cool game because there was a time when like tone was really important and aesthetics were really important. To me, I should say, I won't speak for all of gaming, but like the whole gaming community was like, we need to make things intense and edgy. And like, here comes fucking Halo, and it's cool and intense and shootery, and Gears of War is coming down the pipeline a couple years later for the fucking 360 or whatever it was. And so it was all kind of driving towards this point, and fucking Fusion Frenzy was there for me. And it is such a weird memory because I have not played this game since. Like, I do not regularly return to Fusion Frenzy, but sort of a weird time capsule of like, remember when games were just trying to be like tonistically very punky and weird and, like Sonic Adventure, bro. There's some pop punk behind you while you're skating down San Francisco.
It was punk. It was definitely punk. You're right.
Yep, weird one.
Good one, though. I love Fusion Frenzy. That was a fun game. I have good memories of Fusion Frenzy.
I do enjoy playing that game for sure. David, what's your fifth one? What's your fifth and final?
My fifth one is Resistance Fall of Man.
Resistance Fall of Man. Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about it. Why this one?
It was the culmination of 3 years of saving up money.
Oh, sure. This is a personal one. Yeah, personal memory.
Yeah. Personal memory of saving my allowance for 3 years because I counted and calculated exactly how much money it would take. It came out to be almost like close to $800.
Oh,
All said and done.
A painful amount of money, even by modern standards, let alone fucking 15 years ago or whatever.
16-year-old, 15-year-old boy.
For a young lad, that's a lot of money that I would pay today. Like as a full-blown adult making a salary, I'm like, Jesus, $800? That sucks.
I'm looking at espresso machines right now that are cheaper than that.
Yeah.
You know?
Things that will give you bean juice.
It's good bean juice, though.
It is good bean juice.
Good bean
Don't get me wrong. Espresso is delicious. But I'm just saying, compared to like a game console?
That's fair.
Maybe that's the wrong place to be saying this, though. We are hosting a video game podcast. The Optimist Video Game Variety Show.
It's true. But yeah, Resistance was... I remember I wanted to love the game so much. And I was like, that was good. And that was about it.
That sure was a game.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It didn't provide me with that life-altering experience that 15-year-old David was craving at the time. It was just like, that was a game. That was a game.
Serviceable video game.
It was a good game, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm changed.
Yeah.
As I am now a man. I have paid 800 bones for this. And now I know what it's like to purchase things in our capitalistic society and be disappointed. So maybe I did really learn.
I was about to say, you probably you did become a man that day.
Don't be an early adopter was the lesson.
Yeah, wait just a few months. It'll be cheaper. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's... I feel like a lot of launch titles are like this usually. Like, they're very cool tech demos, but, like, aren't that tight all in all.
Yeah.
Like, you remember Rise, Son of Rome?
No,
because it wasn't that good. It was a launch title for the Xbox One, and, like, it looked great, but wasn't that fun.
I feel like the best you're going to get is, like, that was a good game that had some really cool-looking moments from a launch title, right? Yeah. So, like, Infamous Second Son.
I see. I like Infamous Second Son.
But if you went back now and played it...
Fair. Maybe not. It doesn't shine quite as hard.
Would you be like, damn, that was good? Or you'd be like, that was a game.
It certainly wasn't firing on as many cylinders as like a God of War was.
No.
Which did come out in the same generation, which is fucking crazy. That game is next level.
It is next level. So I think it's interesting for the PS5. Like the big launch titles that I'm excited for are two games that probably had their bones made on the PS4 and one on the PS3.
Which one is this?
Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and then Demon's Souls.
Yeah, true. So I think that's pretty much where I'm at as well.
They're both kind of just like up-resed versions of games that already existed. So
yeah,
I'm trepidatious because I don't know if they're going to give me that next-gen experience that you're looking for. That like a Wii Sports gave you, you know?
Yeah.
That's really the only time I was like, I am playing the future right now.
I feel like it rarely happens on consoles outside of Nintendo. Rarely does a game hit quite as hard. Rarely do you get quite as pure of a dose of next-gen games outside of a Nintendo release.
It's true.
Like, let's take Halo out of the question because Halo is just sort of a crazy fucking shot. But, like, Mario 64, Wii Sports...
Breath of the Wild,
yeah.
Was a Switch launch title.
Yeah, it was. It did come out on the Wii U, but it's like, that was... If you wanted to play it, it was like, hey, here's something on your brand new Switch. Get up in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But, like... PlayStation 2 didn't have a fucking killer game that came out right at launch.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation 3 didn't. PlayStation 4 didn't.
Nintendo's like, welcome to the new shit.
Yeah, we got a fucking plate of shit for you, bro.
Yeah.
Come and chow down on this delicious new video game.
It's so good.
Speaking of which, let me tell you about a very similar experience I had with the Wii.
Okay.
David.
Let's hear it. I think I know what it is, but
I think you do too. So I brought my Wii home. Had some initial technical difficulties getting it set up. I don't think I'd plugged it in because I was quite tired from staying up all night outside of the Best Buy in Sunrise
You got
Mall.
my Wii for me.
Did I really?
I think you did. I think you were allowed to, and you waited in line. I just gave you the money and dipped.
Wow. I mean, I was gonna wait in line regardless. So that's no skin off my back.
I know it was great. I was like, okay, bro. It was a homie move. Move.
The original Podtimistic actions.
Yeah, truly.
So I bring it home. I play Wii Sports. I'm like, damn, that was a fucking good game.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what else I got. Because I got a couple of good games. Let me pop in Red Steel.
I knew it.
Let me see what this game is about, because the screenshots I've seen, it's got a sword, it's got guns.
It had such promise.
Ooh, wow, that seems really cool. I bet this game is going to be good. It took me hours for me to accept the fact that it was not the game that I wanted. I had played it for so long. I was like, come on, dude. The sword's going to feel really good here in a little while. The shooting's going to feel really good pretty soon.
I'm just not used to it yet. It's going to become intuitive any moment now.
It was so hard to play. Like,
Top 5 lies gamers have told themselves.
Seriously, Red Steel is really good. I was like aiming at the screen. It was so hard to aim. Like, you were constant. So let me see. So for somebody who's maybe not familiar with this game, it's like a first person shooter, and you aim with the Wiimote, if I remember correctly. You move with the Wii nunchuck. So you've got like a or a left analog stick on your left hand, and then you're aiming with your right. To turn, I'm pretty sure you just pointed at whatever corner you wanted to turn with.
Oh yeah.
But the original Wii, like, the motion of it wasn't perfect, and so like I feel like I was constantly just swinging this thing around, trying to like turn very quickly.
And a time before the Wii Motion Plus.
Yeah, Wii Motion Plus, and even I feel like the Joy-Con's pretty good about like motion tracking and shit like that. But oh man, it felt pretty rough. And then I was like, eventually you get to like the part where you're controlling a sword, and I was like, okay, here's where it's gonna shine. And it just, I think it wasn't what I wanted. Like, if I'm trying to be not a nasty boy about it, I expected a sword where I could hold it out in front of myself with the Wiimote, and it was 1-to-1, right? Like, it was moving around.
That's what they promised.
Yeah.
That's what they said it was going to be.
Well, for Wii Sports, it was, right? For a lot of those things, it would move along with your hand. And so it was like, damn, that's really cool. But essentially what they did with the Wiimote was that when you swung it, it just essentially registered as like a button press. Like, you swung it, and then it's like, okay, now it's time to swing the sword, so we'll play the sword animation. And so a lot of the time it wasn't this like very cool ninja situation. It was just you kind of wagging your Wiimote to swing the sword.
Yeah, they really half-assed it.
Yeah, it didn't feel great. I don't want to be totally down on this game, because it is a pretty memorable experience, and like I feel like I've kind of been like shitting on a lot of these games, and I don't want to do that, David. I want to be Podtimistic about it. But I think all in all, it was just not quite the experience as I was expecting it to be.
Chase.
Yes.
I'm gonna let the nasty boy flow through you.
Oh, I can't do this. I'm gonna hold it back.
I'm gonna ask you one question.
Okay, sure.
Do you remember how you zoom in on this game?
I'm pretty sure it's pretty painful. Like, I think there's some button combination of like hitting the Z and then pushing your Wiimote towards the screen or something terrible.
That's it. You just you just push your Wiimote closer to the screen to zoom in.
Yeah.
Giving yourself biomechanically less ability
less
to
leverage
finally
to
aim when everything is out in front of you, because what you really want to aim with is your shoulder, right?
Yeah.
That was such a bad design choice. That was such a bad design choice.
I want to give them points for aiming for the fence. They swung at this ball really fucking hard. It was like, it's the bottom of the ninth. It's 3-4. They could win this game with a walk-off home run if they really wanted to. And so the batter, Red Steel, is like taking the bat in their hand, and they're like, I'm just going to fucking crush whatever they throw at me. Nintendo throws not a fastball. This is definitely a curveball. It's kind of hard to hit. But they swing at it like they close their eyes and just fucking go Super Saiyan for a second, trying to hit this ball out of the park. And they definitely missed it. They definitely missed this ball.
They miss it, and they hurt themselves a little bit while doing it, I think.
Yeah, the bat definitely came around and maybe hit him in the back, or like they hit the umpire a little bit and they feel bad. But I want to give them credit for just fucking shooting their shot, man.
That's fair.
What a weird fucking game.
They did give it, I'm hoping, their best shot. But they made so many questionable design choices.
Well, it was like, it's back before a console like this had released. There's no set in stone. Yeah, like, they had to get it wrong so that other games could get it right.
I was about to say, at the very least, they showed people how not to make a shooter on the Wii.
Here is a great way to not zoom in a video game.
But really, were there any good shooters on the Wii? I don't think so.
Definitely not.
They were all bad.
I almost brought Call of Duty because that was a similar sort of painful experience.
Mm-hmm. It didn't work.
I think in the same way that like VR games were sort of weird at first. It's like people didn't really know what this control scheme or this sort of layout was good for yet. Mm-hmm. Like VR games initially were like, Skyrim is going to be good here. And it's not that good. Like, moving your character in first person is like a very dizzying and sort of painful experience. Mm-hmm. And it takes them a second to kind of realize like, oh, maybe like a fixed camera is much better. Like it's going to be less disorienting and sort of like just seeing something in 3D space is a lot better for people.
Yeah.
Or just like, chaining your movement to a certain place on the screen so that you only have to physically move. So it reminds me a lot of that era. Shouts out Red Steel. I think about you.
I do think about Red Steel quite often, to be honest.
Yeah. It comes
very
up a lot.
Memorable. It's very memorable.
So better or worse, memorable game launch.
For better or worse, memorable game launch.
Real quick before we end the segment, what is the game that you are most excited about in the launch title for either the PlayStation or the Xbox?
I don't even know the Xbox launch titles. I would probably say Knack 4.
It's going to be a hit, I will say.
It's going to be a good one. Actually, I've been watching a lot of videos on Demon Souls. And I never played that one. And I have not really played one of those type of...
The FromSoft games?
I've only done Sekiro.
Yeah.
Bloodborne was lost on me. I don't like feeling like a little slow boy when I hit the attack button.
Yeah.
Demon Souls looks like a little quicker.
A little bit.
So I'm interested.
I would love it if you suddenly became like a Demon Souls guy. Like you said, fuck Dark Souls. I'm only Demon Souls.
OG only.
I am looking most forward to, I think, Yakuza Like a Dragon. I really want to play that game.
Okay.
I don't know why, but it just looks very good. I think I always really liked the Yakuza games, but the combat is just never quite interesting enough to keep me there.
Yeah, I agree. That I like the world, but I don't know if the gameplay is enough for me to stay in it.
The brawler aspect of that combat's always just like, okay. Like,
here we go again. Like, going through the motions. Yeah, I get it.
For whatever reason, them turning it into turn-based, that seems like a backwards decision, but I'm like, okay, no, I'm here for that.
Oh, it's turn-based?
It's turn-based combat, yeah.
So like Final Fantasy style or like a Divinity Original Sin style?
Not nearly as complex as like Divinity. I think it may be a little bit more like Final Fantasy 12, where it's like, you just tell the command of what the next attack should be or whatever.
Sure.
And then you go do it. Okay. So something like that. But again, I could be wrong. I'm not like an expert on this video game. So yeah, either that or probably like Miles Morales. Miles Morales looks fucking good.
Miles Morales looks good. I'm also interested in Dirt 5. Got good reviews today, and I got the TV to do 4K 120, baby. So I'd be down to just blow out my TV right now. That'd be sweet.
About to blow the wheels off this fucker.
About to blow the wheels off this mofo.
We could have Gamefly, but just between us.
Game guys.
Christ. Let's end this podcast. David, we are on Twitter.
Game guys is pretty good, though.
Game Guys is pretty good.
Game Guys is pretty good. Donkey
Game
sauce.
Guy. Game Guy instead of Gamefly. It's just the single guy.
Game Guy Fieri.
We're on Twitter. If you would like to come talk to us, please do that. We posted there today that we passed our 1,000th download. Thank you for supporting us, friends who have listened to it.
Yeah, thank you.
It may feel like a small amount compared to what maybe other podcast numbers are doing, but we are very appreciative. It feels incredibly significant.
Mm-hmm. We're no Joe Rogan.
We're no your everyday Joe. We're not a Rogan family member, but it feels quite significant to have 1,000 of you listen to us. So we really appreciate it. It's quite flattering. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
If you want to support the show, a great way to do that is to review us on Apple Podcasts. They are where most of you listen. So if you want to talk about us, we know the stats. We've got hot stats of our own. We just don't share them with y'all. Hot stats.
Hot internal stats.
Yeah, if you want to get the word out, go leave a review over there. It would help. A great deal.
Yeah, please.
David, do you have any video game wisdom for us here? You got any dirt nasty wisdom, David?
Nasty. don't expect the world from your new video game console purchase.
True.
It is what it is. Its best days are yet to come, and this is only the truth.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to say this is only a beginning. You really zigged when I was zagging.
I mean, it's
nice.
the truth and it's the beginning. This is only the beginning.
Wow. That's good gaming
Your
wisdom.
God of War 2018 is yet to come.
That is true. God, dude.
Just wait for 2025.
It's going to be some
gonna be a good year for games.
Banger games out there.
He's so goddamn old by then.
Yeah, I won't be able to see a single thing with my bad eyes. My
Chase
back will have snapped in twain.
He'll be on his 4th pair of glasses.
I'm just stacking them on top of each other at this point.
But hey, you know what you can do if your back's broken? Play games.
Play games. That is true.
They never leaving you.
Games are never leaving me. And you know what? I'm ready to commit games.
You ready to commit?
I'm ready to commit games.
Like $500 PlayStation 5 commit?
That feels like getting married to games. In November, if both consoles are available, I'm going to spend $1,000 on consoles, David.
Oh my God.
That is a true thing.
Oh, and that's just the base price, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's not tax and controllers and actual games.
Yeah.
That's just the console.
I'm ready to commit to games, and this is my gesture. I'm going to spend $1,000 on new consoles, and games will finally know that I'm committed to them. I'm getting down on one knee. I'm holding my PlayStation and my controller in my hand, and my Xbox 360 controller in my foot.
The 360.
Yeah, that's who I'm really married
That's the
to.
last Xbox that you've been on, yeah.
That was the last one I was hot on, and I'm getting married to video games. Or at least I'm proposing. That should be, video games has to say yes.
I really respect that.
Thank you.
I really, really respect that.
David, will you be my my best game man at my game wedding?
I would be honored, Chase Albee.
Game guys.
Game guys.
It's a new service we're starting.
It's happening.
It's a very exclusive service where we just send video games to each other. It's invite only.
If you ain't in the club, you ain't in the club.
If you ain't got no video games, get your broke ass home.